Hey everybody, BJ here. I just had a few stories that I wanted to get to because you know what? This has been a very interesting media cycle. You gotta. I got a few stories here that are going to be connected, and none of it is good. None of it is good. You know what? I can't. I can't come out here and say everything's rosy, everything's going to be perfectly fine, and the world is all rainbows and fuzzy bunnies. But I wish I could, but I can't, because nearly 70% of charges against the Portland rioters were dropped by Mike Schmidt. 70%. Now, if you're a Proud Boy or you have to defend yourself from Black Lives Matter, probably going to go to jail. You're probably going to find a charge to hang on you to make sure that you go to jail. Because how dare you oppose Black Lives Matter? Of the nearly 1,000 protest and riot-related arrests made in Portland since late May, prosecutors have dropped almost 70% of the charges, according to the Oregonian. On Wednesday, the Multnomah County District Attorney released a new statistical dashboard that proves data on protest-related cases referred to his office by law enforcement for prosecutorial review and potential issuing. That is crazy. Of all of the people who have smashed windows, beat people in the face, thrown firebombs at cops, this guy has dropped 70% of all of those cases. And if you try to defend yourself from Black Lives Matter, there's a good chance that you are going to go to jail and not them. Look at the McCloskeys. The McCloskeys were well within their right to defend their property. People were breaking things. They were trespassing, and they were lobbing threats at those people, and yet the district attorney in that case took the McCloskeys to jail and let everybody out. It is absolutely freaking amazing how the legal system in this country has just broken down. Now let's get to the next story because it is related. Let's see. Arming up. 1 in 5 gun-owning households have added another firearm since the start of Black Lives Matter protests, survey finds. Gun sales are up 175%. 175%. 40% of all of those gun sales are first-time buyers, and 40% of those are women. So, yeah, between COVID and Black Lives Matter protests, people are arming up. And you still have the Democrats going out there talking about gun crime and how they're going to ban your guns. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Let's get to the next story. President Trump indicates AG Barr has enough evidence to charge Obama admin officials, including Obama and Biden, with spying on his campaign. What have we been hearing from the left about Joe Biden? Joe Biden's in a lot of legal trouble, okay? With the whole Ukraine thing, Russia, and cozying up to China and bringing millions and millions of dollars in for his family. And yet, we're not allowed to investigate any of that. They tried to impeach the president because they accused him of quid pro quo on a phone call because of Joe Biden's legal troubles as it relates to the Ukraine, Russia, and bringing in millions of dollars for his family from China. We're not allowed to investigate Joe Biden for that because he's running for office. And when you're running for office, you just don't do that, right? And the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton were the ones that came up with this whole scheme to investigate President Trump as far as his collusion with Russia. They paid Mike Steele to create this bogus dossier, and Rachel Maddow's still out there screaming about the Steele dossier. It proves that Donald Trump was colluding with the Russians, and it just fell apart, right? We had 3 years of investigations that came up with nothing. We had all of these politicians lying to the American people for this president's entire term. And yet, when somebody says, AG Barr should investigate this stuff, and the left goes just absolutely apoplectic, calling them liars and everything else. I don't get it, man. I don't understand, but I don't think I'm meant to understand at this point. Let's see, let's read. President Donald Trump appeared to indicate on Thursday that Attorney General William Barr has more than enough evidence to indict members of the Obama administration for spying on the Trump campaign in 2016, including former President Barack Obama and former Vice President Joe Biden. I mentioned this yesterday. I think what happened was Donald Trump came down with COVID. And I think that he really, he put his best face forward, talking to the American people. And that is exactly what a president is supposed to do, right? You don't want to admit any weakness to your enemies or to your allies. And I explained that in the last video. I think what is happening is you have Nancy Pelosi's going insane talking about the 25th Amendment and trying to what do we have? Less than 30 days to the election, and she's still talking about removing him, right? And I think Donald Trump is about sick of it. I think that this illness, she says he's unhinged. I say he's probably to the point now where he's going to throw the kitchen sink at all of this, and he doesn't care whether he gets elected or not, because the Democrats are absolutely insane. They have harassed him and tried to bully him for the last 4 years. I would say that he is probably sick and tired of the Democrats' BS. So, yeah, it looks like AG Barr is going to be looking into putting some criminal referrals out, and I hope it goes well for him. Let's see what Nancy Pelosi has to say. Nancy Pelosi is introducing legislation. I don't understand how this is going to work, because the President of the United States, if he's deemed incompetent, it has to be by the Vice President, and then they would have to bring a group of people in, officers of the White House, to deem the President incapable of doing his job, and then that would go to Congress to be put into place. So Mike Pense would be the president. Either they have no idea how this works, or they just want to upend this campaign in the last 30 days of this election. I don't know, because Mike Pence isn't going to do that. Mike Pence isn't going to upend his own election chances to get the president out, and Mike Pence would still be the president. You know, Nancy Pelosi was the worst House Speaker this country has ever had under Barack Obama, and she still holds the title the worst House Speaker ever. I am not exaggerating. She has been an absolute disaster as a House Speaker. I wish that the American people would wake up. Just wake up, America. Look at what's going on around you. Quit calling the president a fascist who's trying to protect people's freedoms, and look at the people on the other side that are actually doing fascist things. Kamala Harris said they were looking into a federal mask law. The President of the United States has said those decisions need to be made at the state and local levels. If your city has a mask mandate, then your city has a mask mandate. He stepped back, taking himself out of it. That's not what a fascist would do. And yet, they still call him a fascist. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Maybe you just don't know what the hell the word means. Maybe you just don't know what a fascist is. Because fascists want everything to come from the federal government level. Now let's get to this story. Liberals are now worried about mail-in ballots. Liberals are worried about mail-in ballots now. You know, Donald Trump's gone out there and said, look, there's a lot of problems with the mail-in ballot process because there's no chain of custody, right? You put your ballot in the mailbox and nobody knows if it's even going to get there, right? And Donald Trump's been bringing this up, and they've been calling him a liar and telling everybody that there's nothing wrong with the mail-in ballot strategy. We've been doing this for a long time. No, we have not. This is the first time we've ever seen mass mail-in balloting. Here's the problem. Trump voters are going to drag themselves across broken glass to vote for Donald Trump because they don't want Biden to be the president of the United States. They don't want Kamala Harris to be the vice president of the United States. Now, I was talking about a poll here in Oregon that said that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are going to win by this huge 12-point margin, but their appeal to voters is very, very low. So there's a chance that you might see Oregon flip red. That's my thinking. Their appeal to voters is non-existent. Literally, the people that are going to go vote for Donald Trump are voting against Donald Trump and not for Joe Biden. So what you're going to see is you're going to see all of these moderates swing towards Donald Trump, and you might even not see anybody on the Democrat side want to vote for Joe Biden. Just throw the ballot in the trash because, or write somebody in because there's nobody else to vote for. It's going to be interesting to see, but now the Democrats are starting to get a little bit worried about these mail-in ballots because you have thousands upon thousands of ballots that are being rejected. You have thousands and thousands of ballots being thrown away, whether it's Trump supporters or Democrats or whatever. They're just, you get somebody's ballot and you see that they're a Republican or a Democrat, and that ballot's not gonna get there, and there's no chain of custody. That's why I tell people all the time, go down to the sheriff's office, put it in the box. Do not put it in the mail. And I'm telling you what, every Trump supporter in this country is going to take if they have to mail their ballot in, they're going to take it down to the sheriff's office and put it in that box. But Democrats have been told for so long, Donald Trump is lying to you. Donald Trump's lying to you. You can put your ballot in the mail and it's going to get to where it's going, and there's no fraud and there's no worries because we've always done this. Well, we haven't always done this, but they're going to trust their Democratic elected leaders. They're going to put that ballot in the mail, and there's a likelihood that it doesn't get to where it's going. And now the Democrats are starting to realize this, and they are freaking out. They are freaking out because the mail system does not have the capability of making sure that every vote is counted. And you're going to see the election night, nobody's going to know who the president is. Nobody's going to know whether Joe Biden won or Donald Trump won. Nobody's going to know anything, and this is why they're getting out there and they're asking, oh, well, would you concede if you lose the election? Well, Donald Trump and Mike Pense haven't been the ones talking about this. Donald Trump and Mike Pence are not the ones going out there and saying that we're not going to concede. The one that said it was Hillary Clinton, and she was the one that told Joe Biden under any circumstances not to concede the election. And they keep asking Biden and Pence this dumb question, but there's a chance that it'll probably have to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will decide who the president of the United States is. And when that happens, and they'd say that Donald Trump is still the president of the United States, they are going to activate Black Lives Matter and Antifa because they're paying the bails for these people. They're going to activate those people, and you will see cities burn. It is going to be really, really interesting to watch. But I think I've gone on a little too long here, so I'm going to get off of here. You guys, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go to ShamarisDyer.com and buy something. That link is in the description, and I want you guys to have a good day. We will see you tomorrow.